Hey people, it's LEC time again, and today it is the start of week 6, day 1, where we have a complete overhaul of week 3, pretty much a total repetition, where we have in the first game Misfits versus XL, then we have Rogue versus Shulk no Fair, we have SK versus Mad, we have Australis versus Fnatic, and we have G2 versus Vitality. Those are the 5 games of day 1. And we have the boss in the studio. And since the boss is in the studio, who is mostly known for his Sion plays and being an ex-professional on G2, former MSI champion, I believe, if I'm not tripping, we will have in the honors for the entirety of the cast, for all 5 games, some Sion references or Sion quotes, which I'll try to imitate. So if it's gonna get a little louder, plug your ears, do whatever. I'll try to edit it in post if possible. Yeah, that's kind of the quick disclaimer for the entirety of the games, just so you know. Please don't sue me if you have hearing loss afterwards. I'll try to not to drop too much though, so my voice actually makes it through the entirety of the cast. Quick update on the standings. At the moment, Fnatic and Rogue share place 1 with a winning record of 8-3. And what we see here on our screens is XL versus Misfits. Misfits on a 7-4 winning record, and XL with a 4-7. XL with 2 new players, with Advienne and Marcoon, who joined the roster 2 weeks ago, I believe. And we are on patch 11.14, which means we have a buffed Rek'Sai, a buffed Taric, a buffed Darius, and a buffed Seraphine. A little nerf on the Nocturne and Xin Zhao, Akali, and Ziggs. Whereas Tahm Kench, Dr. Mundo, Lilia, and Irelia have been adjusted. As we're heading off into the draft, we will most likely see still some common Nocturne and Thresh bans, most likely in the first couple of stages. I wonder how their focus will still be. If there will still be the Xin Zhao mainly picked, or if there will be some diversion, because Xin Zhao obviously is a strong jungler. Razork also has shown off some Volibear appearances here and there, so we will see what comes up. But we first of all have the ban phase, obviously, where we see a Kalista ban. There might also be an incentive to ban away an Aphelios, because Aphelios has been buffed on patch 11.14. And we see kind of the most common bans. I'm still waiting for a Gwen ban here, or maybe an Akali ban. We see the Xin Zhao ban. I believe his W just got a little bit of increased cooldown, so it wouldn't be too big of a nerf. We see a LeBlanc ban, and we will see the next ban with a Gwen. So the 2 top tier meta champions are kind of banned away, or the most balanced champions, and we see the Thresh insta-locked by the side of Misfits. Thresh obviously pretty strong at engaging and pulling you back to safety, also with a ton of slows and movement restricting abilities, like his W and his Q. You see the Aphelios Hubbard. It might be a strong pick, but Aphelios is mostly better into a team comp that runs into him, so I don't think Aphelios would be a smart first ban, which will be swapped out for the Diana. Diana, presumably for the jungle. And we see still the Aphelios locked. I don't really like the Aphelios pick here, since mentioned before, Aphelios really likes team compositions that run into him because he really shines if he has his weapons up and running with his ultimate, a ton of spread damage. But we'll see how Misfits draft away or around the Aphelios if necessary, or if they really want to. We have Lee Sin locked in here. I wonder why we don't see any Sion hovers. That's kind of a complaint that I have right now, since Boss is on stage. I don't really know when he is gonna cast, because I believe he is gonna cast some games. And yeah, we'll just see. Whatever. We have the Varus locked in as a... not really... Yeah, well, he kind of outranges with his Q, obviously. Varus, at the moment, I believe, at 15 games played in the LEC, has an 80% win rate, which is kind of insane if you think about it. So we have XL with a very heavy initiating team composition with the Diana and the Nautilus. They really want to go in, whereas Misfits have shown that they are kind of diverse, more or less. The Lee Sin kind of to be more towards the protective side, but we'll see how this turns out. We see a Camille ban. Excuse me. I hope I make it through this broadcast. I'm gonna give it my all, by the way. So just so you know, I have some sheets here with about 64 quotes from Sion. So you better be prepared for your eardrums, my guys. Yeah. We have set ban. We have a Silas ban. Silas wouldn't have too many great ultimates there, I believe, from the side of Misfits as of now. We see a Yasuo ban because Nukeduck has been playing the Yasuo. Yeah. So the Yasuo picked away from Nukeduck. We see that Azir. Nukeduck also has shown some strong Azir appearances. Ryze opting for the Renekton, so they really want this mid lane counter pick. I wonder what Misfits gonna opt into because they have played very diverse things. They have played Akali, they have played Syndra in the mid lane. Can't really recall any other champion at the moment that VTO play. I'm not too sure. But you definitely can tell that XL really want to jump into your face and really want to get a hard engage and use all their CC to kind of lock up one target and burst it into the ground. Whereas we have the Jace now picked, who's kind of a middle ground between ranged and melee champion, which is a pretty solid choice, I believe. Lee Sin has to be kind of a big boy then, though, to kind of protect against everything that is thrown towards you in the side of XL. And we see a Zoe pick, also with huge amounts of range. So by the looks of it, Misfits want to play the game of we're running back and just poking you while we run away from you, which is obviously fine. Thing is, though, if one of them really gets caught, then it's kind of doomed by the looks of it. And we see the Twisted Fate. Twisted Fate at the moment also kind of returning into the meta. Mage items have been reduced in cost from patch 11.13. The gold cost there is a little lower. I wonder if we will see like some laners, or most likely the mid laners, opt into like a start with a futures market with sapphire crystal refillable or something along those lines to get futures market value, and then go instantly into a lost chapter. I believe wave 5 or 7 if you want a Sheen, for example. Because I think Jace might like a Sheen into this matchup, because you can proc his Sheen very, very efficiently with all his abilities he can use, also with the ultimate swap. So that's going to be a thing to keep an eye out on. So yeah, here we are, the team comps are picked. By the looks of it, I would rather have, for my solo queue game, I think I would rather have XL's team comp, because it is easier to execute. If Misfits know how to play their comp well, though, I think that XL will have a tougher time engaging into them, because if Varus gets big, he has huge amount of poke damage. So does Zoe, and Hirit, Vanda, and Patrick will just do their best to protect their carries. And by the looks of it, we don't have any futures market start. By the looks of it, we have the Unbound Spellbook on Zoe and on the Twisted Fate, which is absolutely fine. We are in the Rift. And here comes my first quote. When does the killing start? I tried. I don't know if it even sounds good, but fine. This is what Sion would ask himself, because there is no invades at the moment. Every team just protecting their jungle. Oh man, that really got into my throat. Holy smokes. Yeah, right. Still 30 seconds until the minions spawn, or until the jungle monsters spawn. I wonder where Razork is gonna path towards, because I think that Vethio has a pretty safe lane against Nukeduck. He can stay very far back. Here it might be pretty interesting, because if Hirit gets ahead, here it will be a very big factor. in towards the damage output and the skirmishing that he can do against Renekton and constantly bully him in lane, I believe. So I think Razork will have focus towards the top side together with Vithio, if possible, to get here as far as ahead as possible, or also go towards the other end of the spectrum, whereas Kobe could be pushed ahead. For Kobe, I think we'll have to push on lane because Varus has pretty good push potential with his arrows and stuff, or with his charge Q. Here we see Hirik going in for a little bit of a pokey poke. Just casual range top laner things, right? And here we see already, as mentioned, Kobe with the push on lane, creating a slow push here with one wave already stacked. A little bit of pokes going on in around the mid lane. So keep an eye out on the junglers because Marcoon is kind of low at the moment. Has just cleared his blue, is on Grump. Where did he start actually? Okay, he started Raptors by the looks of it. Yeah, he started with Raptors and then just went blue and Grump. Now he's on the way to his moves. In farm, pretty much even so far with, actually completely even so far with Razork. And here it creating a decent slow push here, whereas the bot lane will crash. We'll see if they go for kind of a early recall here and see whether or not they get something done with it. Just recall, get some early game items. Your 10 CS up might be good, or go for some chipping damage on the turret. They know that Diana is not bot side, so they can actually stay and go for a little bit of a push. I believe they still should have recalled here, because getting the crash now is kind of hurt, I believe. I mean, they know that Razork is bot side, so it's fine actually. Here with decent wave management, poking cries off the minions very efficiently. He knows that Diana is topside, or at least he should know. The topside can now be contested since here it has the push, which is absolutely fine. Puts Razork in a little bit of a better shape, and the bot lane crab or bot side crab can be taken as well. Whereas a little skirmishing going on here, Kobe taking a bigger chunk, and Vanda. Patrick and Avian also taking some damage, so chip damage here and there. Pretty even by the looks of it. Well, if this Nautilus gets onto Kobe, I think there will still be a huge amounts of damage that can be dished out. Patrick with the cleanse, by the way, so Kobe has no cleanse. If Kobe ever gets hooked or rooted in place, he's kind of at the will of his enemies. Not too much going on, just some back and forth farming, resets. Vithio got a good reset here. He's catching the cannon wave. Here comes a hook onto Kobe. Kobe running away, picking up the lantern. Kobe pretty low actually. Advian on the chase, but Advian also chunked low. Here comes a teleport from Hirit, I believe. No, from Vithio. Just to cover for safety. Has the flash primed on his W. Patrick taking a little bit of a chunk here. Vithio just backing off. Teleport is burned, so Nukeduck now has the TP advantage. Marcoon is around to check for some insight on whether or not something can be snagged off the bot lane. Nothing here to be done as of now. The wave's running away from Vithio. A good crash by Hirit. Trying to get priority as much as possible so he can move if necessary. Kind of looking like the Misfits was looking for heavy priority on towards pushing lanes. Because Christ can't do anything. Hirit can do whatever he wants. So does Vithio. And Kobe also. So all three lanes kind of on the pressure side. Misfit setting up for a freeze here. Very, very well done. Gonna get even further ahead. Or try to maintain their pressure. He burns the flash on his W there. Just trying to be safe. Marcoon. Just a little bit of counter. And here comes the tower dive. Christ is very low. Razork with some damage. And the Crocodile is dead. But the teleport is matched by Nukeduck. It is a 1-for-1 trade. The killing has started. And we could drop a sign quote here, but I'll keep it up for later, I guess. I'm not going to drop every quote in one cast. Just draw a couple of them. Just take a quick sip of water here. Here's a quick recap. Razork with a decent flash engage. So here with the pressure, Forcing Kreis to back off. The stun onto Razork is good though. Razork just flashes with 40 the auto, and Nukduk is here with the ultimate. Not the teleport, but the ultimate. He'll have to recall since he had no mana, I believe. Yeah, now he's just moving back to lane. Work threats for the Zoe. And the Dark Seal. Twisted Fate trying to go for all possible components by the looks of it. It looks like... Is that an Everfrost? No, that's actually a Luden's, I believe. Luden's Tempest components. Here done a big trade with Kreis, but Kreis is a big crocodile. He can use his ultimates, but he doesn't. Now here it catches all this farm. Can't even freeze if he wants to, or set up for a freeze. But Marcoon is on the prowl for the gank. Marcoon is on the flank and is trying to get this dive happening. Kreis is still around for the bait. There's still teleport available for Nukduk though, so keep that in mind. There is no ward on Marcoon though, so whatever happens, happens. Kreis gets the push in, still has the Dominus primed and ready. Marcoon is here, and they are going for the tower dive. Here it is under the tower, pretty safe so far. Knocks back Kreis, but here comes the damage, and he is out to the minions, but Marcoon, your life is mine, takes it. Hear it. He is dead. Good tower dive, good patience. So XL played this pretty well. Taking all the time in the world that they need just to get this kill done. Marcoon taking a huge chunk though, so he had to reset. Is going back now. We see not too much money on the side of XL in their pockets, so they're pretty okay in shape. I didn't catch a glimpse of that on the side of Misfits. Overall, still pretty even game. The Herald attempt for the Mr. Razork. Since, I don't know why though. I'm not really sure. Because the entirety of his jungle camp is up. Or all of his jungle camps actually are up. Which I don't really know why there's such a heavy focus on the Herald now. I mean, okay, if you want to shove even more resources into Kobe with like a crash into a tower, but no tower is actually low enough to be kind of executed in one charge. And as mentioned, the entirety of Misfits' jungle are up, so that's kind of, yeah, weird. But yeah, whatever. Here comes the next push. Patrick is trying to get this wave crashed. And even more tower damage applied by the looks of it. Marcoon is around. The Krugs are not up, or they, yeah, the Krugs are not up. Probably looking for a huge amount of damage, and there is huge amounts of damage towards this tower now, and Razork can really crash this tower if he wants to with the Herald, whereas XL also tried to match the Initiate and get as many plates as possible off of this. Kobe will get this tower in one shot with the Herald, so this is gonna be first tower towards the sides of Misfits. So the Herald actually pays off there. Not too shabby, actually, but XL tried to match this play as mentioned. Here it cannot really go in. There's 3 players around. He can't do anything. Marcoon and Patrick and Advienne are here. Cry is now trying to kill the Herald. The second charge goes on the second tower, which is half HP chunk. Hear it now on the farm. Razork on the cover, trying to get his bot jungle cleared, or setting up vision for the dragon, because dragon is up, and it is Mountain Dragon. Mountain Dragon, obviously one of the better dragons so far. They also know where Marcoon is. They have no idea of Advienne though. Just establishing some vision here and there in the enemy jungle's real estate. Or shall I say, get up as much real estate as they can. Chipping damage on the bottom tower. So Kobe has actually taken some amounts of golden plating, which is going to be pretty big in the later stages of the game. Razork picks up the dragon, not even contested, so first dragon of the game. And here comes the flash engage. Here also comes the teleport by Nukduk or Kreis, but he is out. The lantern is just OP, my guys. The Thresh Lantern by Vanda saves Kobe's life. Pretty well played. Good nerfs. Flash used by Vanda though. And this will... Oh no, Vanda's on the tower. Oh no. Vanda will die for this. Vanda will indeed die. And they will pull him apart. under his tower and get tower killed. Also possible, but here comes the re-engage. Here comes Razork. Here comes Vithio from the backline. Comes Hear It with the Empower Q. Will kill the Diana. Here is I can't even talk about it. Oh my god, this is way too much action. Hear It and Vithio and Kobe on the chase. Noobdog is low. Patrick is also kind of 2/3 HP. Hear It with the poke. Here comes Vithio trying to hit a bubble. He still has flash ready. And the Q executes. Noobdog. Patrick very low from the Empower Q, from the acceleration gate Q. Why Hear It? So Misfits strike back as soon as XL try to take a foot on their bot lane. Misfits show up and show them, they really show them what's up. Trade back the kills. Kryze is still on the tower. Will this be another kill attempt for the side of Misfits? Bobby and Vanna looking for it. Or just going for the chipping damage, just showing the Renekton off. And chipping damage on the plates, obviously still money going towards Kobe, and here we see the fight again. Vanda is still on the tower, thinks the Nautilus ultimate gets just pretty much executed. Marcoon takes a huge chunk of the tower, so Marcoon is already pretty low. Here in the backline comes a TP from Hear It, and Hear It is around, and acceleration get Q. Misses onto Advian though, still kills him. Advian has flash burned, and now Razork dies. Hear It on the retreat, trying to kill Noobdog, cancels one auto, so Noobdog is still pretty low. Noobdog gets killed here, and Patrick gets chunked by huge amounts. Like, look at this, the acceleration get Q, boom. And I think one auto attack by Zoe or something, I can't really tell, but the Eclipse onto Jace. This Jace is gonna hurt, man. It's gonna hurt, but here comes the next engagement. Razork on the flank. Here comes the next TP from Zoe, but they are onto Kobe. Kobe is just dead. Vanda uses a stopwatch. Razork onto the Crocodile. The hook onto Diana is there, but Vanda just dies. Razork on the run away, has to try and get some kills back. Runs towards Vithio to get the coverage, and nothing will come off it. So just another 2 quick kills for the side of XL. And this, the gold, as I was talking about, is kind of even. The Crocodile is asleep, but not too much. They just want to try and look to get this tower killed. Vithio on the run, Advian is around, looking for a possible chance to engage. Noobdog with the gold card primed. Hits Vithio. Vithio stunned. Flashes with a W away, so Vithio is kind of fine. Here it takes a bot lane tower. So we are kind of even again in this game. Whereas there should be some focus around the dragon soon. 1 minute and 10 seconds. It will be the Infernal Dragon. So we will have either Ocean or a Cloud Soul. So just some pushing back and forth. If we take a quick glance at the CS numbers, we see that Hear It is decently ahead of the Crocodile. Also with the kill department. Vithio slightly ahead of Twisted Fate, but still looks kind of even. Kobe and Patrick, I think, are... Well, Patrick is actually ahead there a little bit. As the shield bow finished, whereas the Duskblade is done for Kobe. So we've seen, since the nerfs of the Prowler's Claw, most of the Varus players with either a Duskblade or something else. Vithio getting the blue buff gifted. Here you see the setup for the dragon. So whatever comes. Teams are really looking for the fight here, or a sign would say, the hunger ignores. And here we see Misfits just approaching the river, pushing straight down, having tons of vision around it. Noobdog in the mid lane, Marcoon on the flank, and Kryze is just playing onto the vision field and the speedy booster of the crab. Advian and Patrick using the blasting cone to get in there, but they have no vision of the topside river, which could spell disaster. They only know about Vanda here. So Vanda is in, Razork is in, Here It is here, but Vithio is not there. And here comes the engagement. The hook onto Nautilus is there. The ultimate is used, but he uses a stopwatch. I think Advian is just dead. Advian is just dead. The stopwatch kills him. The dragon is obtained for Diana though, and Marcoon is in, but Marcoon is also dead. And now XL is on the retreat. The dragon is taken for them, but at what cost? So, Advian and Marcoon, both the new appearances on the side of XL, trying to get stuff done. We still have one stack on the end, Dark Seal. But overall, Misfits really shutting down this fight. They really played this well. Taking the top side, vision control, and XL a little bit too over-eager. They should have played this a little bit more patiently, but I feel like that's just the thing that XL cannot really afford, right? Because they have this really, I want to jump into you, I really want to fight you face on, and I want to take you down composition. Oh no! The Herald has not been picked up. Oh, now Razork has this, but the shield jump or W jump saves him since Vethio is around. He also had, oh, he had no ward ready, so he couldn't be able to, he wasn't able to ward jump. No hook onto Advian, so Advian is safe. Running his nose a little bit too deep into enemy territory, but we see that, well, I believe from a tower management standpoint, however you want to call it, the mid tower being up for Misfits is actually a blessing because they can really play around the tier 2 towers of top and bot and like kind of have this square where they're really safe and just play the game. They just sit back, just farm, and at one point they will be so big that they just one-tap everyone on the side of XL. Also Cobby with a decent amounts of wave clear at the moment still. Here comes an Empower Q, so the Q with the acceleration gate. Patrick chunked to half HP. Is going for the bot lane push, but here it will catch the wave. So where will this go? Where language I can. Where will this game go? We have 4 men in mid, trying to raise this mid tower. Kryze is on the flank, Advian is on the flank, and so is Marcoon, but they have been spotted by some pink wards. Vethio trying to get some damage onto Kryze, but now they're running around, and the bubble is popped onto Advian, but Advian hooks off, or hooks towards the side of the wolves, being safe and sound. Still looking for this mid tower siege. Not too much going on from the side of Twisted Fate so far. So Twisted Fate not really showing up too big in these team fights. Just with one ultimate towards the top side where he traded off kill from Razork. Yeah. So how does XL win this? XL need like a pick. You need a pick onto someone. Gold onto Herod is actually kind of big. And also onto Patrick and Nuke. So they should look to invest their gold as soon as possible, because in a minute's time, or in 20 seconds, 25, there will be the Baron at hand. And this is kind of important, because think about it. If you have a ton of gold in your money, obviously you will have the money, but you won't have the spike of the items. So the lower your gold is, or phrase it that way, the higher your gold is, but the lower your purse is, better it is for you, right? Because you then have more power in towards items and not just in your bank. This is not a bank simulator. And poking and prodding, looking around to establish some vision. The mid tower has been raised a couple of seconds ago, so extra money towards Misfits. And they're setting up for the dragon. It will be a Cloud Soul in this game. In 35 seconds, it will be up. So Cobby is just in mid lane just to keep the perma push up and running. Obviously, if we have mid control, this is very necessary. And I'm saying obviously way too much. So all side lanes will get the push. Here it saw this ward getting placed. Marcoon is in. Here comes the teleport. Kryze is not following up though. The teleport is a waste, I would say the least, because Vander is in it to win it. Vander misses the hook though. Razork might jump over this wall here with a Q, but everyone off XL is around. If Razork jumps in, he is just dead. Patrick has his ultimate ready, so if he hits a good ultimate, this will be tons of damage towards the side of Misfits, the damage received. But the Herald pushes down mid lane, so XL has to answer this, and take the Herald. They have to give the dragon here. Not too bad. Cloud Soul is not the best dragon in the game. So they plain give it. Now you see how much wards you need for the vision control, or for the vision wars that sometimes occur on maps, or that should occur on maps, to say the least, to have some vision around the objectives. Kryze looking for a freeze. He's actually freezing. So Kryze is actually trying to get himself back into this game, looking for some freezes and free CS. In the last couple of minutes, nothing too much has happened except for just establishing vision and farming up. The game plan, oh Razork, oh boy, you might be in trouble. Razork is dead. He overcommitted to this play and gets punished for it. Which means Baron for XL. And the Baron will be of huge benefit for them. Kryze is in the bush here. Here comes the re-engage on the hook onto Vanda. Vanda just gets bursted down. Markoon picking up the kill here. But look at the poke damage from Kobbe. It's insane. Vtheo and Kobbe just dealing 400 damage. He gets executed by Hirit. And this is exactly what I was talking about in the draft. Misfits just sit there and poke you and poke you and poke you. And all of this time, you can't do anything. You just have to run away and accept what's happening. And here we see a quick little recap of that. Razork obviously way too deep there. No vision to support his action. Just places a ward, goes in, goes absolutely ham, tries to pick him off. And it's just disaster from there on out. Whereas the boss would say, disaster. And Vanda tries to get an angle going, but look at the damage. Patrick gets chunked so hard, even his shield bow gets popped at Adrian. Look at the damage and the Q. Pew! Popped! Like a balloon. Easy for the boys of the sides of Misfits. They're still 2k gold up, and now they will play their vision control game on their own. Boon up towards the mid lane, trying to clear some vision. If any vision is there, in 2 minutes time, there will be the dragon spawning again. But Baron obviously of huge interest now. Deciding to push it out, just so to get everything going. But the bot lane is actually crashing towards the sides of Misfits. So somebody should actually pick this up. Most likely gonna be Hirit. Hirit is on the prowl, already running. Because the Fate ult is used, so the Fate's call is in huge effect. And here comes the poke onto Vtheo. The gold card is prime, but no vision to support the action again. Trying to get the wave deleted as fast as possible. XL can't do anything. And this is the kind of the fault of the draft, I believe. Because Misfits can just sit there, mentioned before, poke, 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 just will you down one by one. And this is where Aphelios can't do anything unless he has like his green gun where he gets a little bit of poke going, or he hits his ultimate. Otherwise, it's just kind of doom for him. Whereas Hirit can just sit back, EQ or QE, pew, sniped. Whereas Prime's Q, pew, sniped. And the same for Zoe. Nothing to be done for XL here. Won't see any, not too much action going on, I believe, from now on, except for one bigger Baron fight. I'll take a quick sip of water. Excuse me. Upcoming schedule. Who XL has to face next. And XL is kind of running around like a headless chicken at this point. They're just trying to get catches. As you see, Advian is in this bush. He's just... Look at the damage! That is about 600 damage from this one Q. This is insane. I mean, Advin is not really a tanky boy at the moment, but it's still, the damage is ridiculous. Vision is established. Here comes even more. Cries is already 2/3 HP. The poke of Misfits is outlandish, but Marcoon with the flank trying to get the ultimate primed already, and everyone is getting hit. The ultimate of Aphelios goes wide. Marcoon is in too deep. He's golden. Advin is in now. His stunned Cries is trying to get some kills going, but they're just backing off. They're just running away. But now Zoe is rooted by the Q of Aphelios, and they're just running for the hills. Goldcock connects onto Razork. But they can't do anything. They cannot keep up the chase. Vanda and Razork are just playing keep away with the side of XL. They cannot jump in. And Razork still... No, he has no ultimate ready. But they can just keep on running this. This is insanity. Here it dies for it, though. I mean, it's a 1-for-1 trade. But still, it's it's insane. And just recalling here, the blue orb spotting them, but they could use this for a bait. The Q connects, and no! 2 people have recalled, and Nukduk and Patrick are left on this island. But nothing happens to them. Luckily enough, get away with their life. Dragon in the meantime taken by Razork. Here we see it again. Look at this poke damage. Like, here comes Diana, hits the ultimate. Kobe flashes away instantly. Ultimate of Aphelios goes wide. Marcoon is way too deep. Here it is getting chunked down by the crocodile. And now they're just running on the sidelines. They're not doing anything. They're just running away, turning around, hitting skill shots. And look at Adrian. He takes so much damage. That's absolutely insane. This is insane. This is not the end of the game yet. We still are on a pretty even game so far. We have like a 1k gold difference. Oh, yeah, 1.5k. About-ish. So, Misfits slightly in the lead. They have to invest their money though. We have the Horizon Focus completed onto Zoe, so if she hits this Q... Oh boy, this is gonna hurt. And so is the Muramana and the Serpent's Fang finished for Hirit, acknowledging that there's a ton of shielding on the side of XL. Decent pickup. Smart item pickup. We have no anti-healing, though, for the side of Misfits yet. Whereas we have a Gore Drinker on the Renekton. We have the Shield Bow on Aphelios. And we have Anathema's Chains completed on Advian. Which is either going to be on Zoe or, since it's not on Kobe, might be on the Zoe, so Vitheo. Misfits setting up for the Baron. Here comes the teleport. Running away. They're playing it safe. Smart decision. Misfits cannot just go out here and fight straight up face first. They don't want that. It's hard to fight this way against the comp of XL. Misfits executing their comp at the moment pretty well. So kudos to them. They're playing this very safe and sound. All the small little edges they can get. The poke and the wave clear. Look at this. Sanity. Now XL trying to brute force this Baron here. Maybe bubble onto Cries connects. Vitheo can just take a quick poke with his ultimate. He can just hop over the wall, be like, gook, gook. Just hop back again. But XL are not allowed to take this Baron. And what everybody is thinking at the moment right now, because there's nothing happening, no team fights are really going on, to quote Sion once again,
the quiet eats at me.
No team fights happening as of now, but if one goes down, boy, will it be the last one of the game. Here's a quick Misfits schedule. I don't know it off the top of my head, so that's what you guys know now. I would gladly support you with any stats, but I don't have any stats at hand. That's why I have to kind of keep on rambling about absolutely nothing going on. This is only week 1, no? Day 1 now. So upcoming match is, as mentioned before, Rogue versus Schalke 04. So you can already get a glimpse on what is coming up next. XL looking for some vision establishment here in the side of the real estate of Misfits' topside jungle, because Baron is obviously very interesting. Look at the poke damage from Kobe. Cries is, oh man, he gets chunked for so much. Misfits don't have too much Baron damage though, so they're very slow at doing the Baron by the look of it. Whereas XL can take it very quickly with Aphelios, with the Crocodile, more DPS on that Aphelios, but way more poke. The Misfits. A teleport in the back line. Misfits are running away. Here it is on the zone. But Nukdak is here and Kreis is here. And here comes the engage onto Kobe. Kobe just flat out dies. Resurrect is running away. Vetheo is on the backline. And here is Kreis. And this is where the composition of XL shines. They're in. Here it is dead. And this is Baron for the side of XL. It just took 2 teleports and I feel like 1 Twisted Fate ultimate. And they just outflanked Misfits. And only Vetheo is alive, but Vanda is in too deep, and Vanda takes a huge chunk of damage, and Vanda gets executed by Patrick. Oh man, this is painful. This is painful. This is exactly what XL wanted, and this is the composition they really wanted. So here's a quick video of the coach of XL. Razork now in. Well, Razork will most likely die. Vetheo is here, and Patrick is here, and Marcoon is here. So they're running for the hills now, trying to not die. Oh no, Vetheo! Okay, he has a W flash. Okay, it's fine. Never mind. It didn't burn his real flash, it was just a W flash. But this will be the soul, maybe, for the Misfits, which would be a Cloud Soul. Ultimate cooldown onto Jason Zoe, not too hot, in my opinion. It would be more beneficial to the side of XL to take the Cloud Soul. But they don't have any lanes pushed yet, so they can't really take this. Razork and Kobe and Vetheo poking and prodding to take the dragon down as fast as possible. It will be smited. So the Cloud Soul is Misfits' English. I know English. Hope. So, XL cannot finish this from here on out. They have Baron, but Misfits have so much wave clear that XL don't really get the best out of the Baron, I believe. Just playing it safe, backing off. This will be the tier 1 turret from mid, finally, at 33 in the game. Time, that is. See the classical, I have pressure, I will place wards. So, they're still looking for this pick, so this is exactly what they want to play around. Picking off anyone, be it Herod, be it Vetheo, be it Kobe, or even Vanda, because if Vanda dies, there's no one to keep away as good as Thresh. Like there's, okay, 1 Lee Sin kick, 1 slow. But yeah. And the hook onto Vanda connects and Nautilus is in. He gets flayed back. The ultimate hits him, slows him down. And here goes Razork. Razork is in. The poke is too much. Damage is insane. Adrian gets popped. Instantly executed. Marcoon taking a huge chunk of poke here. Look at this. Marcoon has to run away. And now, who is it? Aphelios is asleep. Just is cleansed though, but Razork, oh boy, you might be a little too aggressive there. Has to use the stopwatch, but Marcoon dies, and now Kreis will get popped. Oh no! But Twisted Fate is here, and Patrick is here. But Kreis is just dead. He just gets executed. Running is futile. Gets absolutely slaughtered and turned into a handbag. And now Misfits can use this pressure to get the tower and maybe the inhibitor if they really want to, which completely negates the Baron from the side of XL. Very well played by the Misfits. Cleanse is used from the W, I believe. From Vetheo, running away, trying to steal as many jungle camps as they can, which is even more resources to the sides of Misfits. And we are, yet again, in an even game at 35 minutes, by the looks of it, or decently even. Here we see a quick little recap. It all starts with Adrian. Adrian sees this hook possibility. He goes in onto Vanda. Marcoon is here as well, and Patrick is here too. So Vanda tries to hook him in. He uses the flay. He uses ultimate. Adrian is absolutely slow to pieces. The ultimate of Varus hits, and he just gets instantly popped like a balloon on the thingamajig, you know. And now here's just poke, and once the bubble connects, like the sleepy puddle of Zoe, then it's just doom, death, and destruction, because then comes Varus poke, then comes QE from Herod, and here we see Kreis on the brink of death, getting executed on the spot. Absolutely slaughtered. 12-12. We have about every 1.5 minutes, I guess we have a kill. If I did my math correctly. In my head, as fast as I could. Yeah. And I don't really know what... This game is gonna stagnate, so there will not be too much farming going on. Most of the teams will run around grouped, so they don't get one-tapped by each other's team comp. It's kind of like the same team composition, I just realized, just in a different way. Played in a different way. Because if Zoe ever hits her E, like the bubble, Bobby, Harriet, and Vithio can just commit to so much poke, same as Vanda. If he hits his Q, then it's just so much damage that can be done. And ooh, Vithio is rooted. Comes off it. Harriet is around. Vanda is here. Bobby moving towards the mid lane. The mid lane permanently pushing into Nukeduck. Nukeduck hasn't been showing up this game at all, I might add. So we haven't seen too many flashy plays except from the one in top lane. The GA is about 2/3 recovered onto Cries. Has a stopwatch. We have Azonius on Diana. No stopwatch onto Twisted Fate yet. So if Twisted Fate gets caught, there is no way of him escaping. Buys the elixir though. Expecting the next fight to be one of the last. Because in 1 minute it is the Elder Dragon. And in about 20 seconds or 18 seconds time it is Baron. So we'll see how this turns out. One fight to decide them all. XL setting up for the Baron. No vision here for the side of Misfits. Misfits looking for the poking opportunities, trying to zone him off. The crab is taken. Playing a little bit with fire. Has the elixir as well. So both teams have pretty much most of their items completed. We have a QSS on Jace. Smart pickup as well. For all the stuns and hard CC of the side of XL. XL with the, or Patrick with the Crescendum and Gravitum, I believe are the guns. Now they're just poking. They will just sit here and poke XL to death. Whereas Nukeduck is far off and Kreis is already half HP. Now they're backing off. Twisted Fate on the side with the gold card. But now Advian is oh my god, Razork is in. Razork is way too deep. But he's zoning off Nukeduck and now they're onto Kreis. They want to take this crocodile down. He's hooked, he's flayed, and he is executed by Kobe. Whereas Hirid just plain out kills Nukeduck, who has to run away. Markoon gets one shot from the Q. Or no, one shot. He just gets killed. And Vithio is not using the lantern, but now Patrick has the green gun and has the crescendum as well. Now he has the blue gun though. Oh, he has to use cleanse. He really wants to fight this. He has the Guardian Angel available, but Razork is in. Razork tries to kill as much as possible. Vanda tanking a huge chunk, but Vanda gets killed. And now both Guardian Angels pop. Vithio has to hit this bubble. The bubble hits, but at the meantime, Hirid and Kobe are just taking the Nexus. And thus, we have the game finished. We have it done. XL take... no, I'm stupid. Misfits take it. Very well done. Vithio is not looking too happy, though, by the looks of it. Good game. Good game. Very well played, I have to say. This is game one. This was Misfits versus XL. XL not making this one, sadly. But we'll be back with the next game. More Sion quotes. We will see Rogue versus Shaka No Fear coming up. Cheers.